Shalom, Gabe Greenberg here, Rabbi of Congregation Beth Israel in New Orleans, Louisiana, learning this week the Netziv on parshat Lech Lcha, chapter 14, verse 14. Vayishma Avram ki nishba achiv. Avraham learned that his nephew Lot had been taken captive by one of the two sides in the war between 4 and 5 kings. Vayarek et chanichav yelidei veito. So Avraham springs into action and does something with the members of his household. Shmona asar shalosh ma'ot, 318 of them. Vayirdof ad Dan, pursues the 4 kings into Dan. So what exactly did Avraham do? The verse says Vayarek et chanichav. It's a little unclear what that means. The Targum Onkelos says that Vayarek means vizarez. He hastened or propelled his householders to prepare for war, and that's Rashi adopts that explanation. But there's another central explanation which is given in the Talmud, Masechet Nidarim, that it's Vayarek is Shehorikan b'Torah, that he taught them Torah. Avraham took this opportunity to teach Torah to the people in his household. The Netziv asks a question. V'hu Pella, he says, Mazu sha ledivrei Torah. This doesn't make any sense. It's in the middle of a wartime. Why does Avraham use this opportunity to sit them down and teach them Torah? So the Netziv says that in fact it is a proper time because the merit of Torah learning is, as he says, the sword of Israel. And in the merit of learning Torah, God causes us to be victorious in whatever we do, including war. Al kain kol milchama kveda, whenever war is heavy, or even when it's heaviest, yesh lahamik yoter behalacha, then you have to delve even more deeply into areas of law, ulashanein et hacherev, to sharpen the sword. I find it's a beautiful imagery that he is using. So he says that's what's happening here, is that Avraham said, well, this is a really serious moment, then I really have to buckle down and we have to learn some serious Torah, he and his householders. He then, in his super commentary, Harchav Davar, says that there's a similar idea in the book of Joshua. And there's a question in Joshua, Amar Rabbi Yochanan. We learn that in Joshua chapter 8, where the verse says, Vayalan Yoshua b'layla hahu b'tocha emek, that Joshua spent that night in the valley. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, this teaches us, Shalan ba'umka shel halacha, that night Joshua dwelt in the depths of halacha. There too, the Netziv says, you could have asked an analogous question, but the sugya of what happens with Joshua when during the siege of the town of Ai also indicates over there as well that the angel had appeared to Joshua and had rebuked him for bittul Torah, for not studying Torah, and Joshua learns his lesson and also says, we're in the middle of a siege, I have to buckle down and learn Torah. The question, of course, that we have to ask on the Netziv is, what does he believe is the value of learning Torah at such a moment? He says that the zchut of Torah, the merit of learning Torah, is the sword of Israel. We could ask on him, in what way exactly does this work? How does this function? And I think there's a couple of different answers we could say. One is that the Netziv believes, and I think this is certainly true, the Netziv believes that the merit of Torah learning itself is meritorious and will help the Jewish people, the Israelites in this case, in whatever they are doing. So it's always a good idea to learn Torah whenever you need help. And then more specifically, you could say that it's important to learn Torah in a time of war because there are mitzvot, there are commandments and halachot that are specific to wartime. So studying those before you go and engage in war. And perhaps thirdly, we could suggest that the Netziv means here that it's always important to learn Torah before going to war so that we can remind ourselves of the ethical and moral values that we hold in life, and so that war, which can be an ugly, very violent time, can cause us to lose track of our higher goals and ideals, that we try to maintain focus on them, even or especially in the moments in life where we have to get our hands dirtiest. So that is the most important time to learn Torah, is when you're going to really be getting into the trenches, as it were. Very good. We will see you next week as we continue our learning in the Netziv.